Alright then, so now we know a little bit about MySQL databases, let's go ahead and create our first database ourselves. First of all, you need to make sure you've got XAMPP booted up and then click on Start next to MySQL. That's going to make this go green, so now that service is running. Then we want to click on the admin button and that opens up a browser. It's opened on my opposite page, so let me just scoot that across. And this here, my friends, this is phpMyAdmin. It's the visual interface for creating databases, tables, etc. Now, most web servers with PHP installed also have this phpMyAdmin interface so that you can create databases on your live web server in much the same way too, okay? So anyway, just a quick tour of the interface before we start to create our own databases. First of all of the current databases are listed here on the left, and you'll notice 3 or 4, maybe 5 I've got here to begin with. Now, if you click on the databases tab, you're also going to see the same databases right there. Now, I'm just going to click on one of these and we see all of these different tables listed in that database. Remember, I said that a database can contain several different tables, okay? So let's just click on one of these character sets, and this is that table. So you can see we have 1, 2, 3, 4 columns, and each one of these columns represents a different property on our records. And these are all the different records, the rows going down, okay? So that's a sample database table. So let's go back to the start. I'm going to click that logo at the top left, and if we click on this SQL tab over here, you're going to see this panel where we can actually run SQL queries to communicate with our database. Now, we'll be doing all of this from our PHP files instead, so we don't need to worry too much about that, but we can run them here if you want to, or test them here, okay? Now, if we click on the user accounts, we can see all the users associated with our different tables and databases. We can see the root one right here. That allows all privileges. It's like the root user account, but you can create other accounts here, and we will be doing that ourselves later on. You can also export and import data over here, and there's a few other settings over here as well. I'm not going to dive into those just now because I know that this series is for beginners and I don't want to overwhelm beginners to begin with, because I know the first time you see this you might be like, whoa, this is beyond the scope of what I can do, but really it just looks that way. So what I'm going to do now is show you how to create a new database. So let's go to databases. And I'm going to go to create over here. But first of all, we need to give this a database name. So I'm going to call this Ninja Pizza because that's what the project's called. Okay. I'm going to create it over here. And now we need to create a new table for that database. Now this table is going to store our pizzas in, right? So let's call this pizzas. Number of columns. So the columns, remember, represent all the different properties. Well, what have we got? We need an ID for each pizza. We need a title. We need ingredients, that's 3. We also need an email, who created it, that's 4. But we also want a created at property as well, which is going to tell us when it was created. So that's 5 in total. So we want 5 columns. So click go to create that table. And now this is where we're going to create what those columns are. You see we have 5 different ones over here. So the name of the first column is just going to be an ID. And this is going to be an integer, an int, right? The type of data. Now, we want to go over here, if we scroll to the right, and you want to click this thing over here, AI. It stands for auto increment. And what that essentially does is every time we add a new record to this database, it's going to auto increment the ID. So if we have 1, 2, 3 already in there as IDs, then the next one we add is going to auto increment that ID and give it an ID of 4, okay? And this is going to be our primary key as well. So click go to do that and go left over here. The next one we want to do is the title of the pizza. Now this is going to be a string of some type. Now there's no way to say string here. We don't have that. Instead we use varchar, okay? And that essentially means the same thing. We're going to expect some kind of character string. Now this length field means we can specify a max length. In older versions of MySQL, the max length for varchar was 255, so we'll just do that. Okay, let's scroll down a bit. The next one we want is going to be the ingredients. This is going to be a comma delimited or comma separated list, so let's choose varchar again, and again I'll say 255 for the max length. Then we need an email. Again, this is going to be varchar, and let's set this to 255. And finally, we want the created at column. Now this is going to be a timestamp. So let me click that right here. And we want to set a default value. This column right here is a default value for us, and we want to set it to current timestamp. So when we add the record, the default value is going to be that current time that we add that record. Does that make sense? Okay. So now we want to go down and click save, and that's going to save this table for us. So we can see now, these are the different columns down here that we have in that table. Okay, that's the table structure. Now, what we want to do is add some data to this to begin with. I want to add a couple of different records. So I'm going to go to Insert to do that. And this gives us another form field to add a new record. So it's asking us, first of all, what is going to be the ID? Well, we want it to be 1 to begin with, the first record. The title, varchar, we'll just call this the Ninja Supreme. And then the ingredients, we'll say tomato, cheese, and tofu. And then the email, well, that's me, Sean at thenetninja.co.uk, and the timestamp is going to be the current timestamp. So if I click go now, it's going to add that to the database, the table for us, and this is the query that's run. Okay, so now if I go to browse again, you can see that now I have this first record in the database table. All right, now I want to insert one more, so let me come over here. This time the ID is going to be 2. We don't actually need to enter into this because it's going to auto increment, but the title down here is going to be the Mario Supreme. The ingredients are going to be tomato, cheese, and mushroom. And then the email is going to be Mario at thenetninja.co.uk. The current timestamp, that's fine, press go. And now if we go back to the browse tab, we're going to see this one over here as well. Okay, so you see the ID has auto incremented. We didn't need to enter an ID, it's done that for us, and that's really cool. So then that is our database created and our pizza table created. And to be honest, we're not really going to be using this phpMyAdmin much going forward. This was just the initial setup to create the table, etc. Most of our communication now is going to come from PHP files to insert data or delete data and stuff like that. So now we've got it here, I'm going to show you in the next video how to connect to our database table from the PHP.